Good morning, children. Today we are going to see the Battle of Buxar. Buxar is a town of Bihar, and that time the entire Bengal comprised of present day Bihar, Orissa, and Bengal. So, this was actually a part of the Bengal province. The Battle of Buxar was also a very decisive battle which defined the British as the ruler that was fought between the English forces and a combined army of Mir Qasim, the Nawab of Bengal, the Nawab of Awadh, Shujauddaulah, and Shah Alam II, who was the Mughal emperor that time. This battle was also an outcome of the misuse of the Farman and the Dastak, and also the trade expansionist aspiration of the English people. The date was 22nd October 1764. The military commander of the Britishers was Hector Munro. Now, what are the causes of the battle? First thing was that after the Battle of Plassey, when Nawab Sirajuddaulah was defeated and killed, then Mir Qasim was appointed as Nawab of Bengal after his father Mir Jafar, who failed miserably. Now, when Mir Qasim was appointed as the independent Nawab of Bengal, he wanted himself to be independent, and then he shifted his capital from Munger to Munger Fort from Calcutta. He also hired foreign experts to train his army, and some of them who were in direct conflict with the British. He treated both the Indian merchants and the English merchants as same without granting any special privileges for the Britishers. Now, these factors actually fueled the Englishmen to overthrow him, and thus the war broke out between Mir Qasim and the company in 1763, and later on it was finally ended in 1764. Mir Qasim, Shujauddaulah, the Nawab of Awadh, and Shah Alam II, who was the Mughal emperor that time, lost the battle on October 22nd, 1764. Although this battle was led by Commander Hector Munro, but Robert Clive had a major role in this battle to play. And thus, from that time, English became a great power in the northern India. Mir Jafar, the Nawab of Bengal, handed over the districts of Midnapur, Bardhaman, and Chittagong to the English people for the maintenance of the army. The English also permitted duty-free trade in Bengal except for a duty of 2% on salt. This battle was a turning point in the history of India. In 1765, Shujauddaulah and Shah Alam signed treaties at Allahabad with Robert Clive, who had become the governor of the company. Under these treaties, the English company secured the Diwani of Bengal, Bihar, and Orissa, which gave the company the right to collect the revenue from these territories. The Nawab of Awadh ceded Allahabad and Kora to the Mughal emperor, who began to reside at Allahabad under the protection of the British troops. The company promised to send its troops to defend the Nawab against any invaders, for which the Nawab would be required to pay. Thus, Nawab of Awadh became a dependent on the company, and in this way, Mir Jafar had again became the Nawab of Bengal. So after his death, his son, who was a minor, was installed as the Nawab. This policy was continued till the end of 1770 until Warren Hastings was appointed as the new Governor General of India. He is Shujaudollah and the Nawab of Awadh, and he is Warren Hastings, the next Governor General after Robert Clive. When Mir Jafar died, his minor son Najmuddaulah was appointed the Nawab. But in fact, the real power of administration still lay in the hands of the Britishers. And this administration allowed to do any sort of thing they wanted to do. So Clive made a settlement between the Emperor Shah Alam and Shujaudollah of Awadh in the Treaty of Allahabad. The victory of British in the Battle of Buxar established them as the masters of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. It gave them political influence and control over Awadh and the Mughal emperor. Therefore, from this time, this laid the foundation of British rule in India. Now, after this establishment of British settlement in India, there was dual government practice in Bengal. In 1765, Robert Clive formed a dual government in Bengal and it continued till 1772. Under this administration, Bengal was split into two parts, Diwani and Nizamat. Diwani means corporation was granted the right to raise the revenue and Nizamat means the Nawab was given administrative powers. According to this system, British had the political and economic powers, but they had no administrative responsibilities. So they were enjoying dual freedom. On one hand, they were having the political and economical control over the state, and on the other hand, they were not answerable to the common people because the administrative policy laid into the hands of the Nawab. So, in reality, the Nawab had to shoulder all the responsibilities of the administration with no real power. So, this dual government in Bengal failed miserably. Seriously, it destroyed the trade, industry, and agriculture of Bengal. And in 1770, Bengal suffered a very severe major famine, and around one third of its population was its victim. The people and the suffering increased manifold because of the misgovernance of Bengal under the system of dual government. So, when Bengal suffered a lot, the company also did not remain unaffected by evil administration. Its income, both from the revenue and trade, suffered, and the practice of private trade, which remained the primary concern of its servants, also proved disastrous for the fortunes of the company. Thus, the dual government in Bengal failed ignominiously. So, we can conclude that the Battle of Buxar proved to be a turning point in the history of India. The interest of British was concentrated in three coastal areas named Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. And prior to it, the Anglo-French Wars was in Carnatic and the Battle of Plassey and Buxar began the period of British conquest in India. By 1765, the British had become the virtual rulers of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. The Nawab of Awadh was dependent on them, and so the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam was also dependent on them. This is the picture of Bengal famine. You can see how people were suffering and they had become the victims of this way of dual government. This dual government lasted till 1772, and when Warren Hastings became the Governor General of India, this dual system of government was abolished.